With regards, trainer Phil Kirby.
There aren't many young trainers in this country who have live chances at the Cheltenham Festival, in the Grand National, the Lincoln at Doncaster and the marathon final at Lingfield on Good Friday. But Phil Kirby is living that dream, and I've come to his Catterick stables to find out a little bit more. Did you imagine as a football-mad teenager back in Preston, Lancashire, all those years ago, that you'd end up being a racehorse trainer, and a very good one?
Well, I maybe dreamt of it. It was something that I wouldn't really have expected we would have been able to get to, but it's a brilliant achievement for us all to have done it now, and we're really enjoying it, and it's what we dreamt of.
Your biggest passion, though, as a teenager was football, wasn't it? And you were a very good footballer at that stage.
I started off very good. I gradually got worse, I think, as I got nearer being probably age where we should have been doing it professionally properly, but as a young lad I played fairly well, and it was my dream originally. It was my original dream, which I didn't quite fulfil it in the end, but it was a nice start.
And amongst the young players on the training ground with you back in those days was a very fresh-faced David Beckham, who was out at Preston from Man United to get a bit of experience.
Yeah, he was on loan when I was on the youth team. He was on loan, and obviously he was exceptional at that time even. And I think Preston tried to buy him, didn't they, at the time? So, and then he went. Obviously, I came out of it, and he turned out to do what he's done in a proper way.
You've got this wonderful place here now, just outside of Catterick, which is developing tremendously well. But of course, it really started to happen for you back in Middleham.
I think we rented 60 boxes there, which we managed to fill. And this place come along when one of my owners, we had a chat about, trying to make a proper go of something. It seemed like a great idea when we walked around, and I thought, oh yeah, this will definitely work. And then when we started, I thought, I hope we haven't bitten off too much here, but it was not quite finished, but there's, the base is all here, the gallop's done, the bulk of the stables are done. We're starting to trust our, what we're doing, which is, I think, is a massive help.
Well, I think it's fair to say that Lady Buttons, with this wonderful name that she has become a household name, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's. I know everybody's started to like her now, but she's actually been a star for me for quite a few years now. And it's nice that she's sort of started to fulfil her potential, what we always thought she had.
And the Cheltenham Festival beckons, of course, but there are two possibilities. She could take on the mighty Altior in the champion chase, or she may go down the mare's route, but decisions are going to be made pretty late.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it as late as we can. I don't mind either way, really. I just want to be in the race that I think we're most likely to win, and I suppose taking on Altior maybe isn't that one, but the mare's race is looking like it's going to start to cut up already. The champion chase, maybe everybody's not going to want to start, taking on Altior, so we've just got to see how things pan out, and we'll make a decision a lot nearer the time. Touchwood, she's been a class jumper of a fence. She's always skilled, brilliant, and she's jumped really well in her races, but I'm not convinced she doesn't say 2.5. I think she's just, when she's got a bit older and she knows where the winning line is now, and she's happy enough to get to the front and sort of half start pulling herself up, but well, like I say, I'm not too worried about the 2.5, but possibly 2 mile over fence is looking like maybe it is her absolute optimum.
The start of the flat season is now only a matter of weeks away, and South Seas stands here as a serious Lincoln contender.
Yeah, he was bought with the intention to run in the Lincoln. He's obviously got a group form going back, so hopefully he's going there. Like everybody knows, you need plenty in hand to go there with a chance, and he might be one of the ones that's got that little bit of leeway. He's got plenty of toe, he travels well, but he's experienced enough to go in with the hustle and bustle as well, so there's another one with it, hopefully will put us in with a chance in a good race.
Well, Phil, Good Friday is very much on the agenda for this fella. He looks a serious horse.
He does. He's a horse with loads of ability. He had good form before we bought him, and he'd obviously had his problems again, but he's got 2 options on Good Friday. He'll either go to the final, which he's qualified for, or we'll also stick an entry in for the race that he lost last year. He's got that class that we can take him anywhere. He's got plenty of ability. Luckily, he's keeping sound. There's been no issues with him now since we've had him, and he's nice to have one as classy and as good to travel around with.
We've seen Topville Ben out on the canter as well. He looks really well ahead of his possible assignment at Cheltenham. The RSA is the race that you've got in mind for him.
Yeah, he's entered in the RSA. Again, we went to Ascot and we were favourite, possibly a little. I was again a little bit disappointed on the day, but then when you look back, he jumped a little bit right-handed. Ground probably dried up a little bit more than ideal, and I maybe left a little bit too much to work on. You know, his plan has been to go to Cheltenham for a while, and looking back, whether I left him a bit short to not go in there, possibility. You know, that wasn't the be-all and end-all. The plan was, or is still, is to go to Cheltenham. So if we get a bit of rain, I'm sure he'll run well.
It's not every day that a Grand National prospect walks through the door.
No, not at all. It's obviously what we dream of, having runners and chances in the National, and hopefully we've been given the chance. Luckily, somebody's spent the money and given us a proper, hopeful chance. He was favourite 2 years ago and ran a blind to finish fourth. He was quite fancied last year when he brought down at the first. There's nothing to say he's not going to be thereabouts again. For an older horse, he's very enthusiastic. He's a good eater, and he seems happy enough with his new home. So fingers crossed we can keep him in one piece and feeling well, and look forward to going there in one piece. This is what we really want. We want to be able to go to the proper meetings with chances, and it just feels like it's all starting to come together now. And horses like him and Buttons and Top Bills, it's making it exciting. It just keeps a bit of a buzz around the place, and it's what we all want. So we're just hoping it works out.